the tensile strength and flexural strength of the concrete. So these both seems to be same. Let me explain you this. So take a body here, and this is subjected to a force F, which is tensile in nature, and this is the area. So the tensile strength is equals to the maximum load that this beam or material is able to take before failing divided by its cross-sectional area. This gives the tensile strength of concrete, right? So this is the tensile, or you can say this is the maximum tensile stress of concrete. So let us take a beam over here. This is a beam, and this beam is going to bend. Let me just clear this. When load is applied onto this beam, this is the neutral axis of this beam, and after bending because of the load, this would be the neutral axis. So the resistance, because of this load which is acting on the top of this beam, lateral transverse load, this beam is bending, right? So when this load acting on this beam is trying to bend this beam, what does this beam do is, this beam offers a resisting moment to resist that bending. Okay, the resistance offered by the beam, okay, to the bending just before its failure, up to just before its failure, is nothing but flexural strength. So how does it fail in flexural? When it is going to bend, the top layers are going to be in compression and below layers are going to be in tension. Okay, so now what happens is, here, due to this bending, cracks are going to develop at the bottom where tensile forces are there. Cracks, these are cracks. So when these cracks are developed, it is said to be failed. So see here, in the tensile stress, when the tensile forces are acting, the crack is going to develop. And in the same way, even in the flexure also, when the beam is bending also, because of the tensile stresses only, cracks are developing and it is going to fail, right? So if the tensile strength of the concrete is less, because of the tensile strength, here this concrete is going to fail. The top layers are not going to fail in this concrete because they are under compression, but the crack starts from the bottom due to tension. So if the concrete has high tensile strength, it is also going to have high flexural strength because it is not going to fail because of the development of crack if the tension strength is high, right? So let us see how do we find out this tensile strength and flexural strength. So in order to find this tensile strength, let me just define this tensile strength first. It is defined as the maximum tensile stress that the concrete is able to resist before failing or point of failure. అంటే అది ఫెయిల్ అయ్యేసరికి ఎంతైతే మ్యాక్సిమం స్ట్రెస్ తీసుకోగలిగిందో అది దాని యొక్క స్ట్రెంగ్త్ అన్నమాట. Tensile strength, maximum tensile strength. Okay, so here you know that concrete is very strong in compression but weak in tension లో చాలా వీక్ కాంక్రీట్. కాబట్టి మనం ఎప్పుడైనా చూడండి, బీమ్ క్యాష్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు, బీమ్ కట్టేటప్పుడు, యాజ్ ఎ టోల్డ్ యూ, బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ లోడ్ బెండింగ్, కింద జీర్ణం ఎలా ఉంటుంది, టెన్షన్లో ఉంటుంది, పైన కంప్రెషన్లో. కాబట్టి ఇన్ ఆర్డర్ టు టేక్ ది టెన్షన్ వీ ప్రొవైడ్ స్టీల్ బార్స్. Steel bars are meant to take the tensile stresses that are developing in the concrete. If there are no steel bars, concrete is going to fail by cracking. Okay. The tensile strength of the concrete can be found out by 3 tests, that is direct tension test, modulus of rupture test, and split cylinder test. Okay, so in the direct tension test, we are going to make a specimen and we are going to directly apply tensile force on that specimen. And in the modulus of rupture test or flexural test, we are going to put this beam on two supports. These are two supports and point load. 1 point load or 2 point load is being applied. And here in split cylinder test, we are going to put this cylinder and we are going to apply this force on this. We are going to see each and every experiment briefly. Let me go into that. So see here, the tensile stresses are developed in the concrete due to following reasons. So that is why you need to know what is the strength of the concrete in tension and where it is going to develop and why it is going to develop. So first one is due to drying shrinkage. You know that when the concrete is drying up, it is going to decrease in its volume. It is going to come closer. It is going to shrink. Because of that, tensile stresses are going to develop. And because of rusting of steel, I told you that steel is meant for taking the tensile stresses in beam. If the steel gets damaged because of rusting, what happens is, instead of steel, concrete start taking the tensile stresses. So that will lead to the crack and failure of the member. And the other thing is temperature gradient. Temperature gradient is temperature differences. So if you take a mass concrete structure, for example, if you have a road, top layers will be exposed to sun, okay, and bottom layers are going to be still hydrating. Okay, so these differential temperatures will lead to the development of tensile stresses between the layer to layer of this concrete. So let me give you two examples here. In the first example, let us consider a concrete road slab as shown in this figure. So when a wheel load is acting on it, wheel load is acting. Because of that wheel load, the road slab is going to bend and tensile stresses are going to develop at the bottom surface. And therefore, because of these tensile forces that are stresses developed in the road bottom, we are going to provide reinforcement in such case. And there is another example we can see that in the concrete beams. We know that this is the concrete beam, this is the load acting, this is the transverse load acting on this beam, and because of this transverse load, the beam is going to bend, and as you can see here, the tensile stresses are going to develop at the bottom and compression stresses at the top. So therefore, you need to provide tensile reinforcement to resist the tensile stresses in the concrete member. So we need to know how the tensile strength is going to be, what is its value is going to be, in order to take care of that. So now let us go into the test procedures of the three tests I have mentioned earlier, that is splitting tension and flexural strength and direct tension. Coming to the first one, splitting tension. Let me start with the splitting tension test. So in this test, you are going to prepare a specimen of this following dimensions. The length of the specimen is 300 mm and the diameter is 150. So this is the testing equipment. This is similar to compression testing machine. We can apply force on this also now. So we have the mold, cylindrical mold, and you put that concrete in that in layers, and we have to tamp it accordingly. And after one day, what happens is, you have to take the specimen out of the mold and you have to put that submerged in the water at the temperature of 27 to 29 degrees centigrade. So after some days, after 7 days or 14 days or 28 days, according to your need, after how many days you wanted to find out the tensile strength of the concrete, up to then you have to wait. You have to make sure it is cured properly, and then you take this specimen and you have to mark the specimen at the center as shown here. And then what we need to do is, we have to place that specimen in this testing machine accordingly, and you have to apply the force. And while applying force with these pellets, what you need to do is you do not apply directly, you put supplement bar or some wooden pieces to make sure that the load coming from this machine is transferred to this beam specimen on a particular area to avoid concentration of stress. And remember, we have a loading rate. Okay, so the load, the compressive force on this tensile this beam specimen is applied at a rate of 1.2 to 2.4 Newton per mm square per minute. So now we have to measure the value P. So what is P? P is the load at which the specimen is breaking. See here, this is the specimen here. Now you are applying a compressive force here. Of course, this is a tensile test. You are applying compressive force here. So because of the compressive force, this specimen is going to split. Okay, so the force that is necessary, that led to the cracking and splitting of this beam specimen is taken as P. And this expression here, 2P by pi dl, will give you the resultant split tensile strength of concrete. So this is how it is going to look. This is the specimen, and this is the supplement bars, and this is the pellets which are used to apply the force here. And this second test is the 2-point load or 3-point load test. Okay, so in this test, what we are going to do is we are going to prepare a specimen like this. This is 2-point and 1-point test, or flexural test, or of course test number 2 from the list. So now this is the specimen, 150 mm and 150 mm square cross section, and length is 700 mm, remember. And in some cases we have a cross sections of 100 and 100 and 700 mm also, or 500 mm also. Okay, so 150 700 or 100 500 mm specimen, any specimen you can use. So this is how the setup is going to be. These two are nothing but roller supports on which the specimen is placed. Specimen is placed in this, on this, and see here, these are the two which apply point load. This is 2-point load. See, when the this is 1-point load or central point load or 1-point load. Okay, only at one point this beam is going to experience this lateral transverse force. So this is central loading and this is 2-point loading. Okay, so, you have to remember certain things. These rollers are going to have 28 mm in diameter, and in case of spacing between them, they are going to be 600 mm when the specimen used is 150 mm cross section, and if it is 100 mm size, the distance is going to be 400 mm only, because if the cross section is 100 mm, then the length of the specimen is 500 mm only, so decreasing, right? So when then you use 400 mm spacing rollers, and the top distance between these two should be around 200 to 133 centimeter in case of 150 and 100. So how the specimen is made? It is simple. You have to put that concrete in the mold, similar to how you put in the cube mold or cylindrical mold, and you have to put that in layers, and each layer is given 25 blows, and after one day you have to put that specimen in water submerged at a temperature of 27 plus or minus 2 degrees, and after after few days, after a certain age of concrete, you have to test that specimen by placing in the proper orientation. So when you apply the force, for example, if this is a 1-point load or center point loading, at some point of loading, what happens is, at some particular point of load, there is a crack that is going to develop. This is a crack. Okay, this is a crack because of the tension below the neutral axis or at the bottom, right? So now find out the distance between the crack, this crack, and this support and this support. Let this distance be A. Let that distance be A. So, and the load P is equals to point load at which this member crack ఎక్కడైతే డెవలప్ అయిందో ఆ మ్యాక్సిమం లోడ్ని P అనుకుంటాం. సో ఈ Pని ఏని యూజ్ చేసి మనం ఈ విధంగా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయొచ్చు. హౌ ఇస్ దట్? FB flexural strength or modulus of rupture. Okay, flexural strength or tensile strength is given as 3 times of PA divided by BD square. And you can also find out from the length and the load at which it is failed by using this equation, that is P into L divided by BD square. So therefore you can find out by using these two formula. Okay. So as you can see here, B is the width of the beam, which would be 150 mm or 100 mm. And what is D? D is the failure point depth in millimeter. అంటే ఎంత డెప్త్లో క్రాక్ అనేది స్టార్ట్ అయింది, లేకపోతే సంథింగ్ లైక్ దిస్. దిస్ ఈస్ ది స్పెసిమెన్ అండ్ క్రాక్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ స్టార్టెడ్ అండ్ ది ఫెయిల్యూర్ పాయింట్ డెప్త్ ఇన్ millimeter. And L is the length and P is the maximum load applied to the beam in kilogram, and A is the distance crack నుంచి support కి ఏదైతే ఉందో ఇది A. ఓకే, B and D అంటే failure point depth in millimeter, ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఎక్కడి వరకు, this D. Okay, so in the next class we are going to see the relation between compressive and tensile strength of concrete.